Welcome to Unhidden Voices, family. This is episode 8. And before we get started, I wanted to just give a little bit of an update and share some information with you. So, unfortunately, the video for episode 8 is not that good. So, I'm going to be using cover art. My son Sadiq is just going to edit the cover art into the video. And I apologize for that, but we want you to focus on the conversation and listen to the entire thing if you can, because it's a conversation with my cousin Sean, who is, he actually is my mom's first cousin. He's my Aunt Boo's youngest son, and Aunt Boo was my great aunt, my grandmother's youngest sister. So in episode 6, when my cousin Mateen said Aunt Boo made salads, he was talking about Sean's mom. Sean, because he is from my mom's generation, he has some ideas about um, policing and police brutality, that police violence, that are different. They're a lot different than mine, and but we differ in a way that is loving, and we do a lot of it through laughter. And so I don't want people to mistake like our laughter for not taking this issue seriously, because obviously for us, this is life or death, and so we do take it very seriously. But laughter is in our DNA, so you're going to hear us laughing through stuff and laughing through our disagreement. Very much like how, not to trivialize, but we have a family rivalry and we're all football fans. Sean's an Eagle fan. Doug and Pooh are Cowboys fans. Sean and Shelly are Eagles fans. My family, we're all Niners fans, and we differ on that a lot. And of course, they are all wrong because the Niners are the best. But we differ, but we still show love, and that's the thing that I think our society needs to figure out how to do better. And because of that, I really also want to invite Sean to come back for us to further the conversation, to consider some of the thinking that he has, particularly now that, we're having instances where, like, women and girls are being dragged to the concrete and guns drawn on them, and this society, the police brutality you know, is a huge problem. And so we need to address it, but we need to address it in a way where we can listen to each other and learn from each other. So listen, learn, and amplify with us.
All right, I see you now.
Okay. Oh, damn! I didn't know we was doing background stuff. I could have went out there on the boardwalk.
Yes, you should have. You should have. Okay.
Actually, we was out there, and the bugs started biting, so we left.
No. All right, so let me give you a little bit of background. So
Okay.
I decided to do a podcast, and the purpose of this is really to hear from just everyday Black people about experiences, right? Because I feel like a lot of attention goes to, celebrities or people who, like maybe the experts in the field, but we're not hearing from the folks who live live their lives as Black people every single day.
Okay.
So that's the point of this podcast. And it's going to be an interview where I'm going to ask you to share your experiences, with discrimination or like your awareness of police brutality and things like that. And then we're going to end with talking about family, because I
Okay.
think that our family connection is really roots us and is what kind of keeps us together.
Right.
So, that being said, you ready?
Yep.
All right. So, let me pull up the question. So the first question is just a basic, like, can you tell us your name and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay. Sharn Collins, 55 years old. Live in New Jersey. Um, been working for just hit 30 years last year. At the same job. Hopefully retire in 5 years.
Wow.
Engaged to be married in November.
Yes, on my birthday. The best day of the world. What's your job? You said you had the same job for 30 years. Where do you work?
Well, I have two jobs, but the one that I've been here 30 years is with the county welfare office. I started off as a
And what?
caseworker and then went into the training department, and now I'm the head security officer and a liaison between us and the state.
Got it. And what's your other job?
At the casino.
Okay.
Yeah,
What do you do
filling up the
there?
ATM, just filling up the ATM machines.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully, I have less than 5 years there.
All right. So I want to talk about your experience of school, and I know it's been a long time since you were in school, but do you remember being in school, and were you ever discriminated against at school?
Yeah, I do remember school. No, I don't remember being discriminated against as a child and at school. Might have, but I don't remember anything. Nothing sticks out.
Okay. Describe somebody that's an educator who has had the most impact on you and why.
An educator?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I think more of my influences came once I finished school and started working, because I was meeting older people and getting knowledge from them.
Yeah.
There was a lady that used to, when I worked at the Social Security office, they used to have people from the health department, I believe it was the health department, used to come once a month or something like that to do blood pressure checks and things like that. And one of the ladies that used to come regular, she used to talk about how things are now and how things will change, like your friends that you have now, you won't have later. You have new friends because of the way you evolve or the situations that you put yourself in. And I try to pass that on too, because no one is just going to see that, because they think, well, these are my friends, these are this, we're always going to be like that. And it's not. It's not at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes you start over 2 or
That's
3
right.
times.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. All right. I'm going to switch gears and ask you about COVID-19. Can you describe how COVID-19 has impacted your life?
Well, it cut half of my income. I still haven't heard anything from unemployment, and it's been a month and a half.
Wow.
A good thing, I was able to push some stuff back to delay payments, so I don't have to sit there and panic just yet. But hopefully, we're about to be opening up soon.
Okay.
And then with us
And then go back
preparing for the wedding, we really haven't done anything, because we was just starting doing that, and then all of a sudden this happened.
Yeah. Yeah. What about your family? Has it impacted? Do you feel like it's impacted your family as well?
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's impacted everybody. I don't care how happy they are getting that money, it's impacted them. And if now, definitely later. No, but just worried about, making sure everyone's healthy, and things like that, making sure, everybody's been staying in touch. I think we stayed in touch more now than we have before, because no one's working. So everybody has the time.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, that's real. Yes. All right. Can you share an experience of racism or discrimination that you had?
I other than the usual stuff, like when you go into a store, or while at work you're talking to someone ignorant on the phone, or something like that. Outside of that, I really can't think of anything that personally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, what about your family? How do you think racism impacts your family?
Because of the color of our skin. Really, it's really because I can't see anyone in the family putting itself in situations that will cause something like what started all this. That I mean, I never known any one of our family that has hung around with bad crowds. You never heard of this person that hung around with a bad crowd or anything like that. It's like it seemed like all of us is somehow all seem like on an even keel. You
Yeah.
know, everybody's,
Yeah.
you know, no one's just making it. You know, all of us are doing well, and
Mm-hmm.
as our generation, I think that's really important. We just keep each other up.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. I agree. Um, how do you deal with it? Like, how do you deal with racism?
I don't carry it around like it's a weight and unload on somebody or anything like that. I see the stuff, I hear the stuff, see the videos. Um, they, I don't want to say I get upset, but I don't like what
Mm-hmm.
I see. But
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, and then some of it is just so blatant. It's
Yeah.
like it's not like something sneaky. You know, it's like you know the camera's on you and you doing it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Mm.
yeah. So, did you ever have to talk to your children about police brutality? And if so, what was that like?
No, actually, I never did talk to him about that. I did talk to him about once he was older to make sure, just like I said, about the people you hang around with.
Mm-hmm.
If you see, you know, they doing stuff that you don't agree with or you know you're not supposed to be doing, disassociate yourself with them. For the
Yeah.
most part,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's done that.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, when he got older, make sure that he has his ID on him.
Yeah.
Like I said, they can just keep you overnight just because you don't have an ID. So always have your ID on you. Yeah, you know, be respectful. You know, put your hands up on the dash or out the window. You know, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So you had to talk to him about like how to interact with the police to protect yourself. How do you think that conversation went? Like, do you feel like he or those conversations? You feel like
Well, one night I
how do you?
got a call. One night I got a call from him, and he asked me to come pick him up, and he told me where he was. And I went and picked him up, and he told me that he was in the car with two other guys, and they was talking about. He never did say what it was, but they was talking about doing something. And he
Mm-hmm.
told them to let him get out, and that's when he got out, and
Mm-hmm.
that's when he called me to come get him.
Got it. Okay. Well, work then. That's
Mm-hmm.
good. That's really good. Do you remember the first time that you saw or experienced a Black person, including yourself, being mistreated by the police?
I think Rodney King might have been the first one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What was that like? Like, how old were you when that happened?
I don't know what year was it.
Like, not. It was 1992. It was 1992.
Oh, 92. I was just I was 10 years out of high school. I graduated. So I was what 28, late 20s.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it was crazy that they were doing that. It's just like you
Yeah.
just couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
to find
But
out
that
that they
was
got
also
off,
because it was
like when you didn't see the beginning of it, I was like, why do we need to see the beginning of it? Whatever he did didn't warrant that.
no, it did not. That's but that's crazy too because I think that was the first time it was videotaped, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Rodney King was the first time we saw it on videotape. But did you ever experience like have bad interactions with the police just on the strength, like they pulled you over just because you was Black or anybody that
No,
you know? Mm,
no. The times that I've been pulled over, I haven't had any issues.
yeah, that's good. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Have you ever protested against police violence?
No,
And if so, why? No. Okay. No,
no, I
okay.
haven't.
So why? Why not?
Um, and there's no reason. They didn't really have too much here. To me, it's just me. Whenever something happened, I try to go back to the beginning. because that's where
Yeah.
the incident started, not what happened in the middle or the end. And again, if you're doing something that you're not supposed to be doing and you get caught, don't make it worse. Because if you make it
Yeah.
worse, then that's when all this happens, and then everybody's in the outrage. But they did this to start it. And it seemed like that's okay. It's what happened after that.
Yeah.
I guess really the way I saw it, or I know it didn't affect me in a way to do that.
Yeah. I get it. Okay, then let me ask you this: like when you talked about they did something to start it, are you talking about Black people did something or the cops? I'm not sure who's the they. When you said like
Well, I guess we're talking about the Black person. Like if the cop sees you with a gun, and then you're gonna start running, and then even shoot once or twice, but then you get shot, the cops wrong for shooting you.
Yeah. Okay.
You know.
Okay. So then let's
Just like with the guy that just got killed, and they're trying to say he was hallucinating or something. Did you hear about that one? He let the cops on like a 20-minute. Yeah, he let the cops on a 20-minute chase, and the reason they started chasing him because he had his high beams on. So they chased him for over 20 minutes or 20 miles. Then they finally stopped, and they got him, and he kept saying he was either hallucinating or he was seeing something or something like that. And they cuffed him, and I'm trying to figure out what else happened. Something happened, but he ended up dying.
Damn.
Yeah,
see, I guess that's what I wonder about the most, because I feel like all these people wind up dying. And do you think that, well, I guess that leads me to the next question. Like, what do you think about like the way the police interact with Black people?
I definitely don't think it's right. I mean, they always portray themselves as the authority, and then they just keep it at that level.
Yeah.
It gets worse if you start saying more. You know, if you just keep it short and simple, it's just like what you tell your kids. You know, don't talk back to me, I'm talking. You tell them, not to talk back to the teacher, and it's the same thing. You're not gonna win. You're not gonna win with your parent. You're not gonna win with the teacher. And you're definitely not gonna win with the cops. So I'm saying, just do what they ask. Just do what they ask. There's no need to get in a back and forth because you're not going to win.
But Sharn, okay, Sharn, don't you think that some of these people, like the cops are just killing them and they ain't arguing with them? Like George Floyd, he was begging. He said, "Please, I cannot breathe." What was he doing to warrant?
I'm still asking, was the $20 bill fake? Because you still haven't heard that. That's what started the whole thing.
But so it wasn't. First of all,
no answer. There's no answer. I wanna go on and email Robin Meade on Headline News in the morning and say, listen, I need an answer. Was it fake or not?
Okay, so let me ask you this. All right, let's say this. If the answer is yes, do you think he deserved to die that way for $20?
No,
even if
definitely not. But my thing is, I want to know why they pulled him out the police car. They put him in and then took him out the other side. You had him in the car. What'd you take him out for?
Yeah, because I heard they was, and I didn't, it was hard for me because like I can't really watch that kind of stuff, and Tarek actually told me about it. Like he was like, I had heard the name, but I was trying not to like pay attention because like when I see people like that, dying like that or something like that, it's something to give me nightmares, because I'm like, very sensitive. So I didn't want to watch it, but it just happened to be on, and he explained it to me. And literally, like, as soon as he finished talking, it came on the news. And so I watched, just a clip on the news, and it wasn't like the whole, 8 minutes, but it was long enough for me to see, right, what happened to him. But then I was told by other, like, colleagues and friends that they had other video, and that he was actually being beaten by the cops when he was in the police car. So, but I don't know.
And they pulled him out. Because the video that I've seen, they show where the people from the store come over to his truck. Now, mind you, he purchased whatever he purchased. I think it was cigarettes. And him and his friends were sitting in the trunk right across the street. They never left.
Yeah.
So for the employees to come out and approach them, go back in, call the cops, and then the cops show up, he's still sitting there. He's never left.
Because I don't think he thought he did anything wrong. Because the $20 bill was
really
not
high or drunk or something.
He wasn't. They did the test. He was not. They did an autopsy.
Okay,
he was
every
not.
time I ask Google, I can't never get an answer.
Who was you asking? Google.
And so then they come, they talk to him. He gets out his truck. They take him to the sidewalk against the building. He sits down. They take his friend out. So it's only 2 cops there, and nothing's going on. He's writing down, saying whatever he's writing. Another car come up. So now they get him, and they want to put him in a police car, and he's telling them, supposedly, that he's claustrophobic. But you get him in, and then you take him out the other side. All you got to do is close the daggone door. He's handcuffed.
Yeah, just take him to the hospital. Yeah. I mean, to
the back of the police car. When you sit down, them legs ain't coming up.
Wait, so you just said you haven't had no bad interactions with the police, and now you're telling me you've been in the back of a police car.
Right, but it wasn't a bad interaction. It wasn't a bad interaction.
Because you felt like you deserved to be arrested?
No, I wasn't arrested. I was suspect of drunk driving. And they followed me. Once I got off the highway, they followed me all the way to my complex. And once I pulled into the complex, they put the lights on. They had me do the sobriety test. Then he went and talked to his partner and said, all right, we're going to take you to the station. So they put me in the back of the police car. And I told them when they put the handcuff on that it was on my bone or whatever. So they put an extension on another handcuff, something, whatever they did. Then you sit in the back of the police car. And they didn't take me local. They took me going north on the parkway to Lakewood.
What?
To Lakewood.
Oh, how far is Lakewood from
flying down the parkway, and then they get off the parkway, and he's flying down these dark roads. If a deer would have came out, that would have been it. Took me all the way there. And then it was a lady cop and a man cop. The man cop was cool. The lady cop was the one that was whatever. So,
oh, wait, no, back up, because you said it was a decent interaction. What was he saying?
Because listen, you got all these titles. I got to be nice. I ain't trying to be street around here. I got to act like I got a little sense now. Yeah, so they sit me down. He didn't even handcuff me to the bench. He just told me to put the cuff around it. So I did that and sat there. Gave me the breathalyzer test. I passed it. She comes back in the room and tells him to do it again. Like I said, he was and he's asking me questions, and I'm like, sir. So he said, stop calling me sir. I said, no, sir, I'm not sir. Everything he asked me, like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, sir. But like I said, it wasn't a bad interaction. I mean,
okay, so let me say this.
And that was the only time I was in the police car.
Yes, but I think what I hear you saying is that you don't think it was a bad interaction because they didn't actually like hit you or pull a gun on you or something. But like for them to actually arrest you for no reason and take you down to town, but that's what it's called when they put the handcuffs on you. No, you were never charged.
There you go.
You were arrested. You
Okay.
were charged. You were arrested because that's what it is. When they put the handcuffs on you and take you away, like you had, If they weren't there, you would have went into your house, right?
Yep.
But they stopped you because they arrested you and took you somewhere they wanted you to go. And what I'm saying is that is racist. And you said you ain't had no racist interactions with the police. And I'm like, yes, you did, because you said you passed the breathalyzer test.
Well,
and so they had no reason to do that.
Well, I passed the breathalyzer test at the station.
Oh, you didn't pass it at
first?
first?
I did the roadside one first. No, they didn't give me the breathalyzer on the scene. They gave it to me at the station.
But if you actually
only did the sobriety thing. You know, touch the nose and all that.
Touch the nose and all that stuff. And they said you didn't pass it?
I thought I did. Like I said, she was the one calling all the shots.
Yeah.
So after I did the sobriety test, because I did it with him, then they talked, and then that's when they did it. That's when they put the cuffs on me, put me back in the car.
Yeah, see, that's... And you know, like literally every single person in our family that I have talked to has had a run-in with the police. Like every single one, and even the children. Like Kiara, I talked to her today, and she said that she had a run-in with the police where they had their hands on their guns talking to her. And I talked to Dougie yesterday, and he was talking about, you know, these next. It's like the police, the way, and then I talked to Anaya, and she was talking to me how they pulled her over, and they were questioning her like, "Where are you coming from?" And she was
the
like,
black
Dunkin' Donuts.
Right, I call it the black question. Where you going?
Okay.
Where you coming from?
Oh, so you know you have a whole set of questions that they ask us that they don't ask other people? The
Say
black
again?
question? I said they have a whole set of questions.
What I call a black question is, where you going? Where you coming from? Yeah, one night I was coming home on the expressway from Trop. It was like 2 a.m, and state trooper came out of nowhere, pulled me over, and he said, you know, where you coming from? I had my uniform on. So no, I don't think he said, where you coming from? He said, oh, you just getting off from work. Like I said, I had my uniform on, still had my badge and everything on. And he said, he asked me, was I tired? I'm like, yeah. I said, I'm on my way home. You know, I just got off a 16-hour shift. And he said, well, you swerved a little bit back there, so that's why I pulled you over. He says, I'll let you go. I said, oh, okay, thank you. and that was an Asian guy. That was an Asian guy. Now,
but see,
getting back to that other one, though, getting back to the other one, I'm going to tell you exactly when that happened. It happened the Saturday before Carmen got married.
Oh, okay.
Because I had an Explorer, I think. Yeah, I had an Explorer, and that's when they stopped me. That week, I got a vehicle. And I came all the Parkway the same way, and you know another police car followed me all the way to my complex. But when I turned into my complex, they kept straight. And you know, they probably said, this can't be the same guy. But like I said, it was a different truck. A totally different truck. Yeah. So a guy I grew up with is a lawyer. So I was talking to him one time, and he asked me what street it was on, because if the state police pulled me over, it had to be a state road. And some of those roads out there where I am is a state road.
All right. Well, see, this is frustrating me. Like, you know, like I honestly, like I was like, okay, I need to just talk to, like I said, just hear the stories. But like, none of them are good. You know what I mean? Like,
none are good. Well, I don't know. Someone's talking to me with their gun, like with their hand on their gun. That's something to talk about. I mean, I know they approach the car that way, and like when I had my Prius, I had my windows tinted. They weren't heavy tinted; they was factory tinted. But when they pulled me over, I just put down all the windows. You not gonna, you know, I'm putting them down. My hands is out the window. You know, I'm doing that as soon as you pull me over. Turning off the music and doing all that stuff. Yeah. But see, you got others that, you know, they defiant. I don't understand what it is. Like
okay, let me say this, Sharn, because I think that what you're saying to me is like, because the reality is I think that it's a system, and I feel like most of the people who are getting pulled over, it's not that they're defiant, it's that there's discrimination, there's racism, they're being targeted. You know what I mean? And so, and the sad part about it is that our lives aren't valuable enough for these people not to wind up dying, because nobody should die for $20. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if it was fake. Even if it was fake, you think that a white person is going to sit up here and die for a fake $20 bill? Heck no. That wouldn't even been a question. But because it's a black man, yeah, he could lose his life over that. And I mean, and all these things you're saying, there's people like Philando Castile. He actually said, my gun, I have a gun, but it's registered, right?
Is that the guy that was in the car with his girlfriend
and he was in Minneapolis too. Yeah, and his daughter. And they shot him in
and
front
she
of
filmed it live. Yeah.
And he said it. And he wasn't being defiant. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, the only person that even you could even say like, okay, they said he was being defiant was Rodney King. And we both know that wasn't true. He was getting his butt beat, and they was mad because he didn't say, he was trying to stand up, and they tried to beat him all the way down and beat him.
They want you to stay down.
Because they're trying to show you, like, know your place. You know what I mean? And they just beat the sense out of you when you act like you have any kind of dignity about yourself. And that makes me upset. All right. So
but my thing, wait. But those people aren't like that just because they cops. They like that because that's who they are.
Well, that's
if
true.
They didn't have that bad, they still would have that mouth. They just wouldn't have the backup that they have as being a cop.
Right. But the question I have for you is, do you honestly think that it's a coincidence that every single person that I've talked to in our family has had a negative, interaction with the police? Do you think that's a coincidence, or do you think it's because we are a black family?
I don't know. I mean, if would they not be doing their job if they don't look into an incident that they think might have happened?
What I'm saying to you is, if your interaction, like I'm driving, okay, because this is the instant I told my daughter, I had Ossie interview me, and this is how, and I said I was pregnant, and I was driving, and I had, all my other kids in the car, was like 3 babies in the car, and I'm like, I was pregnant with her. I'm like maybe 7 months pregnant. He pulled me over for speeding. Then he got me out the car, and he had his hand on his gun as he's running my tags. And I'm like, why are you running my tags? Like, I did not steal this car. I have, like, it's full of, like, my children. You know what I mean? And he's telling me, well, there's nothing I can do about that, just being a jackass. Sorry. Well,
right. Right. No, but I'm saying that's not because he's a cop. That's because that's who he is. He's like that.
But I'm saying, like, if
I understand. I hear everything you say.
I feel like it's a system that, and maybe the system gets the worst of the worst to do the job. But I'm just wondering why people don't get treated like this. You know what I mean? Like, when I talk to white people about, like, the ways in which we have interactions with the police, like, when I think that when white people listen to these stories, their mouths are going to be dropped to the ground, because none of them are going to have the same stories that we have.
Right.
And I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, I'm in California. You're in New Jersey. You're in, and then Dina is in North Carolina. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's like you could be anywhere in the country, and you're gonna still kind of with the same scenario. You think that it's everybody that we're running into is just like got a bad attitude, or do you think it's just like a concerted effort to, like, mistreat black people?
I want to say both.
Yeah.
But I want to say more of the people talking too much. Because like I said, you're not going to win. You're not going to win. But see, then when they take it further, then yes, that's when it's wrong.
Yeah,
but the questions ain't gonna do nothing but frustrate them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're not gonna get the answers. You can say all that stuff, it don't mean nothing. Just do this and let's get out of here. You know? I mean, your situation was crazy. For someone that's speeding, the only thing they usually do is just check your license and see if you got any other outstanding stuff. But to actually have you get out the car for what?
Yes, but like I'm like 7 months pregnant with, you know, an 8-year-old and a 7-year-old, and I'm like, what? Where would I be stealing a car and going for a joyride with all these daggone kids in the car? What am I gonna take them? Why would I try to do that? That's stupid. You know what I'm saying? But I think he wanted me to have something so he could actually arrest me and put my kids, you know, in some kind of, take them away from me. So have a reason to do it. And that's just horrible. All right, so I'm gonna switch. Oh wait, this is the last section, and these questions are about family. Okay. So share a memory, a family memory that means a lot to you, and why does this memory stand out for you?
Oh boy, you really be putting people on the spot with these kind of questions. Should have sent them with the link.
I did send them to you, but they wasn't in order. I put them in order afterwards.
Well, I liked when we was up in Piedmont for the first family reunion. I liked when I came out to California and spent a weekend or a week or whatever it was with your family. Yeah. And to get together in Vegas for Shelly's party.
That was great. She was so surprised.
The thing is, I don't get to see y'all. I really get to see the ones that's here.
Yeah,
you know?
That's true. Yeah, I mean, it's like every summer, for the past few summers, I've been coming out there, and I'm like, it's COVID-19, so I wasn't gonna come, but now I'm like, I need to come. I miss you guys so much. All right. Okay. How would you describe your family to other people?
Loving, caring, educated, dedicated. And I'm just so proud of my family. I tell them as much as I can with you and your career, and Shelly with hers, and keeping up with her family, and now she's basically the person now.
Yes.
I tell Doug as much as I can. I'm so proud of him, and to see how great of a father he is, the way his kids love him. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah. What role do you play in the family, and how do you play that role? Can you provide some examples?
The red-headed stepchild. No, I'm just joking. I don't know. I know Doug has told me that he tried to follow my model as far as when he got older and working and things like that, keeping stuff in order. I don't know. I don't know.
Like a big brother.
Yeah, I guess. Because like I said, I don't get to see too many everybody else, so really no one knows me. They know my mom, so they say, "Oh, that's our Boo's son."
Yeah. Who taught you how to value your family, and how did they teach you that?
I guess I want to say my mom, because she made sure that I knew who my family was, and definitely Carmen. Definitely Carmen.
Yes. Yes. 100%. Yes. All right. Wait, you need to explain how you're related to Aunt Carmen.
I'm a cousin. Her mother and my
Okay.
mother were sisters.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You knew
Yes.
that. What
I'm just
kind of
saying
question
because
is that?
I know that, but I'm saying the audience doesn't know that. That's all the people that can listen
Oh,
to this
okay.
podcast
Then
need to
maybe I
know
need
that.
to rephrase
We're
it.
gonna have
Oh, yes, my mother and her mother were sisters, so we are first
yes. Okay, so so technically, although I think of you as my generation, but you're really my mom's generation because you're her
Exactly.
person.
Well, I'm in
Yes.
between because I'm the youngest of them and the oldest of us. So.
Okay. What role does family play in your life and why?
Definitely plays a part. I love keeping up with what the family's doing, what the children are doing. Even though I don't have any interactions with them, or they might not know me as well as they know the others, at least I can see what they're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, love the get-togethers.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, one day my work schedule change, and then I could be in most of the stuff just like everybody else.
Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. But you always come through. I know everything. Every time I'm there, I see you. I see you coming
Mm-hmm.
through. All right. How would you like to be remembered by your family?
Wow. Other than Ambu's son, um, that he worked hard,
Mm-hmm.
uh, family oriented,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess since I don't have a lot of family here, that's why it seemed like I latch on to whoever I'm seeing with their family, just to be in some kind of family atmosphere. Um, I never really thought of that. You got me
Yeah.
stumped on that one.
All right. Well, okay. So, all right. Well, who in the family has been your biggest teacher? And can you share something they taught you that you'll never forget?
I've had a couple people in my life that what they told me or showed me made me not want to be like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
Wow.
those few really completed it because someone's always going to try to point you in a direction.
Yeah. Yeah.
And with most of that, then you have these few that oh, well, I'm not going to do that, so I'm not going in that direction. That
Mm-hmm.
lessens your choices on that side, and then hopefully you already got rid of all the bad ones, and then you're still on that right path.
Yeah. That's what's up.
But I think the people that showed me, well, by their actions, showed me that's not what I want to be or be like.
Mm-hmm.
I think that had more of an influence on me than just, giving you advice and telling you do this, how to do this and that. I think that pointed me more in the right direction.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. So this is the last question. What do you want everyone to know about what it means to be a part of a Black family in America?
Um, Even though I haven't experienced it, but I see it. And the stories that you said that you got from your family, of course I wouldn't know, because that's not something you
Mm-hmm.
just go out and tell unless it's a group talk or something like that. But tight knit, always be in touch somehow, keep in
Mm-hmm.
contact, keep building each other up.
Yeah.
Um, just always be there at some point or somehow. Just be there. Just
Yeah.
be there.
Yeah. That's beautiful. Thank you, Sharn. I appreciate it.
Of course.
This is fun.
Next time I have my bags drop together.
Okay. All right. Well, I love you.
Love you
I know
too.
I'm keeping you up late. But I love you. Thank you so much.
It's Friday.
Yes.
Listen, I ain't back to the casino yet. Larry goes back in 2 weeks. Hard Rock is opening up here before the holiday. Yeah. She just found out yesterday.
Wow. Oh, well, tell her I said, said hi, and y'all keep safe out there for sure.
All right, you too.
All right,
All right,
love you.
Bye-bye.